Hello, everyone. This is Kim Jacobs and Mr. Tommy Nichols here on the Kim Jacobs Show. Hey, Tommy. We are excited to be with you today and very excited to be able to share about arts in the community and how important that is. So, right now, as you come into the studio, grab your seats, grab your coffee, tea, whatever. We're getting ready to have a great show lined up for you. Yay, yay. This is an opportunity for you to go ahead and share with your friends, your coworkers that the Kim Jacobs Show is on. And remember the protocol. If you have a question for my guest or would like to just send a positive comment, a shout out, then make sure you know that you can do that. And the comments will be posted. The only way that I know that you are in the studio audience is if you put a comment. So if you put a comment, I'll be able to pop it in during our flash round. Okay, I can hear some kind of reverb too. So I don't know. I can hear myself. Can you hear it?
No, that has to be on your end.
Okay, okay. All right. Yeah, I don't hear it anymore. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and introduce my special guest, Mr. Tommy Nichols. He is the CEO of Glorified Media, a media and marketing event management company that creates and manages media-based assets. Under GM umbrella is the Charlotte Black Film Festival and Power Up USA, an innovative youth technology and media training company. While attending Wilberforce University, a keen business acumen and strong appreciation for filmmaking was developed. Through continued education, Nichols subsequently graduated from the National Federation of Entrepreneurship, the American Guild of Court Videographers, and the Artists as Entrepreneur Institute. He later completed extensive and specialized training at the Hollywood Film Institute in New York, which boasts Quentin Tarantino and Spike Lee as graduates. Mr. Nichols is presently board chair of the Charlotte Mecklenburg Public Access Corporation TV21. With over 21 years of experience in technology, media, and entrepreneurship, he has managed multiple multi-million dollar projects to include participation in a $10 million district-wide computer and network integration project for Dayton Public School Systems and the procurement of a $1.2 million technology upgrade for the Department of Defense. In 1997, he established the first African-American owned Microsoft authorized training and view testing center where he trained more than 700 adults in the 21st century technology skills. He has all kinds of accolades, which you're going to be learning a lot more about. But the third quarter of 2020, you can expect him to, he actually launched his new book, Coding Black, and IOCTV.com, a 24-hour new media distribution network. So he has all kinds of accolades, numerous ones, ranging from the Business Journal's 40 Under 40, the YMCA Black Achievers Award, recognized as 2019 Charlotte Black History Maker, and the Mayor's Mentoring Educator Mentor of the Year nominee. I'm also so excited that he was recently married, and so I'm so proud that he has Mrs. Nichols by his side as well. He attributes a lot of his efforts to his success to work, faith, and being a cheerful giver, which he really is, a cheerful giver. He's been featured on all kinds of outlets like ABC, NBC, Fox, CBS, Charlotte Observer, Charlotte Post, Sophisticated Charlotte Magazine, you name it. He's pretty much been there. So welcome my guest, Mr. Tommy Nichols. Welcome, Tommy.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you for having me.
I am so glad that you're on today's show, and I can't wait for everybody to get a chance to get to know you better. Charlotte Film Festival, people may not know all of the details about it, but tell us how it all started for you.
Well, it's interesting. Charlotte Black Film Fest. I moved here in 2009. I was part of the Great Migration back to the South.
Okay.
And when I came here, I came here to do film and technology. That was my focus, film and technology. I was hired by the Black Expo to videotape a business conference. In this conference, Ronnie Bryant, who was really part of the Charlotte Regional Business Alliance, right, which is kind of like the chamber, but he dealt regionally, was doing a report. And in that report, he showed the top 5 growth industries in the region. And I'm sitting here, I was in Charlotte 30 days, got this first job, 30 days. And as it goes down the list, he shows financial sector is going to be a great growth indicator, manufacturing, healthcare, and number 5 was film.
Wow.
So I came here for film, and then I see this, and it blew my mind. And I said, if this economic trend is going to really come through the city of Charlotte, how will African Americans benefit from this economic trend? So I did some research to find out who was in this space, and there was nobody in this space. And if you know, like me, we've been around a little bit. Economic trends come through our city so many times that African Americans find out about it on the caboose side of the economic train, and we find ourselves fighting for fumes. Well, I said to myself, something must happen. And so the Charlotte Black Film Festival was created as an economic development platform using film as its platform to make sure that we would not be in the caboose side on my watch, but we'd be in the engine of this economic train, if not driving the train.
That's really good.
That's how it started.
And so you pretty much carved out your own niche, and it's now brought you to where you are today.
10 years later, 10 years later, and without a lot of hits, because in the South, I've learned that when you're a newcomer, you kind of need to find your place and kind of be in the background. So coming out real quick like that, because it's been 10 years, I've been in Charlotte 12 years. In November, 12 years. So there's a lot of pushback. A lot of folks doubted that this would happen. Got no support. But I was working at CPCC at the time. So when you came, I was working. So I leveraged the college, the name of the college, got a couple departments to come and collaborate with me. And I leveraged, no one knew Tommy Nichols, but they knew CPCC. And so I leveraged the name of the college for our first event, as you was part of that. And that's how I got started.
Yeah, I do remember being a part of that. And just so you know, I had such a wonderful experience. I was like, wow, this is something that has to be global because it's so impactful. The people that were in attendance, the camaraderie, everybody was like so excited. It was like you were coming to like like how people go to the Oscars or the Emmys. I felt like that was happening right in Charlotte, North Carolina, and it was under your direction. So I was like, now this is something special.
Yeah. And that was the first year. That's the first year. So we really didn't know what we were doing, but we knew we had the right spirit about what we were doing. And I think that made the difference in what you felt when you came into the room. That's how you felt that. Because we had the right spirit. Didn't know everything, how to do it, but we had the right spirit in what we were doing.
Wow. Sean, let me know too if the feedback is still there or if it's clear at this point. Or Cassandra, either of you let me know, because I got a notice that it was some feedback going on. I want to make sure that the show is clear so everyone benefits from what's being shared. And if so, if it's still feedback, then I'm just going to ask you to get some headphones, but I'll find out in 1 second. Give me 1 second and then I'll know. It's clear. It's clear. You're good. You don't have to go searching for anything.
I just have them on standby.
Oh, thank you so much. I don't want anything to go wrong with the film industry guy over here.
Absolutely.
So I'm not going to play a game.
Yes.
You know what? Before we even go, because sometimes what happens on my show is I wait and do the flash round, and people have asked questions that pertain to right now. So let me just go right now to some of my students members, and we'll do multiple rounds, everyone. Okay. FF is the best, Asha Chashing says. Okay, let's see. Donna Rent says, congratulations, Tommy Nichols and the CBFF team for 10 years of Black excellence from the executive board and staff of Sisters in Motion, Inc. Awesome. All right. And then the rest of them are just saying that right now the audio is in the video is clear. Perfect. So I will do multiple flash rounds today. So if you all, have questions, feel free. Now, Tommy, I know that you guys have a carved out event coming up June 14th through the 21st. And I really want people to get a chance to understand how is this going to work with you. Normally when I came, I was there on site and like hundreds upon hundreds of people were flooding in. I mean, it was like nonstop people coming into the building. And it was down at the college. It was at CPCC, right?
Yeah, CPCC. Yeah, they're large.
Like, people were flooding in there. It was literally like a red carpet event. It was amazing. Right. So how is this going to work now that we have been kind of stay at home, not touch and hands on?
Yeah, first of all, I want to just thank the Art and Science Council, their vision grant that supported this year's Charlotte Black Film Festival. And because of that grant, we were able to go from an in-person festival to a virtual festival. And Kim, you know me a little bit. I'm really a technology nerd, whatever. So this was kind of in my space to do something. And I wanted to do something special, not just go online for the sake of going online, but create an experience for people that would be as close as possible to that in-person engagement. And so, like last week, we had our filmmakers meet and greet. We had 215 films coming to submission. We selected 70 films that's going to be screened. And last Sunday at 2 p.m., we met with our international filmmakers because we're international. And it was just an amazing, they're sharing about, this is from Paris, Gambia, South Africa, the UK. These are filmmakers who's creating content about the African or African-American experience. And then at 7 p.m. we had US filmmakers, and it was just an amazing time. So that engagement they loved because they could see one another, they could hear each other's project, what was happening. And so what we have this platform right now, if you go to our Charlotte Black Film Festival website and go to films.
Let me go there first.
Films,
walk through it. And that way you can walk everybody right through it at the same time. If I lean in, it's because I turned 50, Tommy, and I got glasses on, so I have to lean in.
Yeah. So yeah, just go to films there real quick, and I'll tell you what you're going to see, it's really amazing. If you scroll down, now I mentioned, you mentioned in my bio about IOC TV, the 24-hour streaming platform. So you can see right there, we did the 10 years. You see the IOC TV. I had IOC TV for a couple years sitting on the shelf, because life, you're real busy. You don't have time to do this and that. And it takes time to develop the right kind of website. Right. So with the pandemic, I finally took it off the shelf and created IOC TV. And I decided to use the film festival as this launching pad. So if you scroll down, you see the different blocks. And these are actually the film posters. You can click on, like say it says smoke, click on the one that says smoke.
Smoke and mirrors right there?
Yes, click on that all the way at the red button there. And what you're going to see is a trailer of that film, and you'll see some other information. So that trailer of that film would be there. Go back, you see the backward arrow right there.
Do you want me to hit play on that trailer or no?
No, go to the left at the top. You'll see that back button. Go there. Okay, go back down again. Just scroll down, and you see all the films, all the different blocks.
Yeah.
We got 1 through 8 blocks. And then if you go further down, what you'll see is we have them in the categories as well. So now we have by block, which is the date of those particular films. Some folks, well, I want to just look at what is the documentary films that's going to be screened at this year's festival. Well, now you see feature films, documentary films, short films. You see the alignment there where you can go right to that category and view the trailer, the runtime, the start time of those films as well. So this is kind of a Netflix style. If you see, you go back to the top now, but Netflix style and the filmmakers absolutely loved it. Everyone has loved this because it's just a different way of screening their events. Their trailers are there. So we a lot of work on our festival. We're getting just folks talking to us from the Sundance Film Festival. We just talked to them yesterday where they featured our festival. Folks around the country is looking at this platform for a film festival, and they're blown away. They know we've done the work to make sure that our festival is in place. Now, if you go back up again, if you go out of that page and go to box office, I want to show you something.
Wow, this is awesome.
Yeah. So box office is where actually you can get your digital pass is what will happen. This is our digital pass. And if you scroll down, you're going to see all the tickets for this year's festival. Now, what's interesting, once you buy your ticket, you can get an email. In that email, there's a button that you just click that. It takes you right to your virtual event from your email.
Wow.
Right to your virtual event.
And so whichever, just let me make sure I get clarity for my audience. Any of the audience members or people that are watching this show or even hearing it because it's on iHeartRadio as well, they can go to charlotteblackfilmfestival.com box office and select which block or which film they're interested in seeing. They would purchase their ticket, and then when the email comes to them, it's going to have the link for them to watch that particular film.
Yes, and they can watch it right away. I mean, not watch it right away, but they get their email right away. And at the end of their purchase, ask them to share that they, purchased their ticket. So ask them to share that information. You see all the blocks are there. We have the Pitch Me competition. And then we have, if you go to the top, we have the All VIP Festival Pass. This is where you can get everything except the pitchman competition of the festival. And then we have the Festival Movie Pass, where you get all 8 blocks, or you can get individual blocks. And because, Kim, I'm on your show today, I want to give your audience a special discount here. So if they go to the VIP Pass, VIP Fest discount will give them $20 off of the VIP Festival Pass. It's called VIP Fest discount, and I'll stick that here. If I can chat here.
Okay, let me put that on my chat too. So it's where do they go? VIP
FEST discount.
SEFT
Yeah.
discount.
Yeah, discount.
So they go to the VIP SEFT discount.
Yeah, Fest. I'm going to type it here so you can see it right quick, so we don't get it wrong. Okay, look in the chat. You'll see it right there.
Oh, okay. I'm like, where are you typing? You doing more than I know how to do. What in the world? I'm like, Tommy, you coming on my show? You got me looking all around. Like, where are you at?
That's it. And so that'll get them, $20 off for the VIP Festival Pass, which is great. And what's great about this as well, let's say if you missed the start time of a movie, you have the rest of that day to still watch that movie. Or if you don't watch a movie twice, you can still watch a movie twice in that particular block on that day, because all the movies end at 11:59 p.m. It will not go into the next day, but you have that whole day after the start time to watch that movie over again. Or if you miss it, you can still go back and watch it.
That's really good. I'm typing that in so that everybody will know that if they type in VIP Fest discount for watching today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show, you will receive an actual discount off of all 8 blocks.
No, that's the VIP Festival Pass. That's everything. So they would get $20 off of the VIP All Access Festival Pass that you see right there. It's normally $60. They get $20 off of that. That's all the workshops. That's everything.
That's awesome. Thank you for doing that. So guys, I mean, you have no reason not to be a part of this dynamic program that's going to be some, and it's not even just like somebody has to sell you. This is some great film footage that you're going to be emotional on an emotional roller coaster. Some things are going to make you laugh. Some things are going to make you cry. Some things are going to be extremely thought-provoking that you're like, this happened? So it takes you on such a journey.
It does. It does. And Pam, Sunday is our opening day. And our panel discussion, we have this thing called No Lie. It's about the history of Black hair care products.
Okay, I'm gonna click off of I'm clicking off the website, or do you want me to stay on there?
You click off.
Okay, but before I do, is there anything that you wanted me to play, any special video, or they can just go and look at it?
Look at themselves, CharlotteBlackFilmFestival.com, and they see everything they need, or they can email the email that's at the top of the page. If they have any other questions like that. But on Sunday, BlackFilmFestival.com, make sure that you all put if you want to get a discount, $20 discount off of the entire festival, put in VIP Fest discount, and you'll receive that just by watching today's episode. So thank you, Tommy. Okay, go ahead. Say what you were about to say. Well, Sunday we have, it's a documentary about the history of the Black hair care industry, which is very interesting. And so we have a panel after that. So that comes on at 1. The panel's at 2. We have the president of Dudley Products is going to be there. We have Aubrey, who's a well-known educator for L'Oreal, I believe. So we have a great hairstylist who's going to talk about this history of the Black hair care product, which is Sunday. And then we have something about the diabetic youth. We have a medical health panel that's about COVID-19, diabetes in the African-American community. This is coming after the Diabetic You documentary, which is produced by Bob Marley's nephew. This is his second entry into our festival with the also awesome film. Then we have a documentary, 2 short films about sex trafficking. So we not only show films, but we have these panel discussions that deal with issues affecting our community. So we bring those community experts together after the screening to share and to talk and as outreach and also to help people. I know we have you coming on the panel as well. To talk about ladies who've been through some trauma, love, life, and lockup, and the trauma they've been through in the relationship and moderating that. So it's not just seeing films, it's that conversation, that dialogue to help us all be better.
Wow, I'm so looking forward to it, and I think it's going to be a fantastic festival. I'll be participating and watching the films throughout the entire festival, and I encourage my audience to do the same, so we can have some dialogue about what we're learning. Chime right in and be a participant in all of the discussions and the platforms that Tommy will offer to the community. So you can put your thoughts on there and chime right in, and it's going to be a blessing. What have you noticed is some of the biggest challenges that you've experienced in putting something of this magnitude together, especially virtually?
Yeah. Well, it's if it because of my many years of technology, that really probably the only way it was able to happen. I don't know if we would have made it happen if I had not had that background, because everyone has popped up in the space saying we can help you. We have solutions. and I was on a national conversation with a bunch of other film organizations. And when I made that same comment, they said, "You're absolutely right. We went with this product, this company, and we couldn't get in contact with them. Now their phone is disconnected. So you don't know who's in the space. How do you evaluate what's the best product to have? How will it work with what you're doing?" And so it took a lot of research, a lot of trial and error to play with it on this side, and then make that final decision. So it was tough. It was really, really tough to make that transition. And so I think we went beyond it because I had some pieces in the background I was thinking about developing and just pulled it together for the festival.
Well, I do have some more people asking questions, so I'm going to go ahead and address some of those questions and comments. It's so many flood in quickly, and I'm like, by the time I get down, didn't they just recruit new board members? Okay. Hey, didn't you all just recruit? I'll read it like that, and then I ask it as if it's coming from me. Hey, Tommy, didn't you all just recently recruit board members?
Sure, we did, and we have a list that I have not followed up with because and the board members are not just for the festival, but also for my Power Up program. So we're talking about youth, training youth in terms of technology, coding, film, digital arts, those kind of things as well. So we did, and it's kind of on hold. When this festival is over with, I'm reaching out to that entire list. So Sean, I hope you're one of those individuals that did apply, and I will follow back up with you.
Well, Sean, if she applied, I can tell you what, you definitely want to have Sean Hall. She just wrote a book, Prepare Now, Don't Pay Later. She helps students get free education.
Oh wow, that's perfect.
College, and I say that because it's so much funding that she's able to help children receive that many times they get way more than what their schooling actually requires. Oh. She's the founder of allroadseducation.com. So I always give a shout out because she's my best friend, and not just because she's my best friend, but because she is great at what she does.
Well, yeah, and we have an educational panel too. We have a documentary from a gentleman who's in Atlanta, the president of Community and Schools in Atlanta. And so we're doing the educational panel after that as well. So Sean, so we might need to talk, see what kind of input you can add the value to that panel.
Oh yeah, you want her on your panel way more than you want me. If you had to choose between Kim or Sean, get Sean on your panel.
Yes, it's totally different panel, so you're good.
Okay. All right, so let's see. Asha says, how can we participate and view CBFF online?
Right. So it's interesting when you buy your ticket and you buy your ticket and you get this launch. It's going to take you to a screening platform that's beyond the wall of our ticket box office. And it's this individual screen that you're going to see that you'll go widescreen with it. And so you'll see all the movies in that same format, the panels in that same format. We're encouraging everyone to plug in. Find a TV somewhere if you can plug your laptop into a TV for best viewing. They say there's apps that you can do that with. But for best viewing, see if you can somehow connect to your TV to view that. Otherwise, your laptop and your cell phone is great. But it's better viewing, I think, if it's plugged into your TV.
And then Asha said, got our VIP tickets on deck.
There you go. Awesome.
And let's see another. Truly impressed with your works in media, Tommy. You're always making digital advancements. Much love from myself and love from my production team.
Yeah, her production is love my. I think she said love my production. That's her production. Asha has been she's a filmmaker and has been in our festival twice. She's also been on panels, so she's a great supporter of us, and we're a great supporter of her.
Well, she's gorgeous. I see that little bubble over there, Asha. You are just woo. Do everything. Everything. You look good.
She's also presenting at the Red Carpet Vision Awards. So let me say this. We still have our awards program. Every year we give out the best in film. It's like you mentioned earlier, like the Oscars. And so we're doing this at a location where we're broadcasting from that location. We still got a host. We're still going to have a DJ. We're still going to have presenters. We're still going to have entertainment in between from this location broadcasting out. So we're giving this live. This is our Oscars program. We do it. This is how we end the festival. So we're excited. We're doing that. A lot of planning is going into that. How we're working that out. So yeah,
this is exciting.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I feel like I'm gonna dress up and get ready for some.
You have to. Yeah, we tell everybody you have to dress up. Even if you're at home, you must dress up because we're gonna see you in the Zoom room, and you need to be dressed up.
I might wear something glittery. I might. What you telling the day I host my panel, I'm gonna be like, hello. No. I might talk differently.
Well, no, not that day, but at the Oscars awards program.
Okay.
Awards program.
See now, Tommy, you got to tell me because see now, if I had on sequence and I'm hosting the panel, I would have been so disappointed.
Yeah, you're. I said, okay, we need help. You're making us feel bad.
Okay, so I won't wear sequins on the day that I host the panel, but on the Oscar day or the day that you do the awards, yes, I'm definitely dressing up.
Yes.
Okay. Congratulations, bro. Daryl Johnson said.
Now, Daryl managed. Who's the singer? Daryl's the manager of. What's her name? Daryl. Key in the name of the singer that you work with. You know her, real petite. Small. I can't.
But anyway, Daryl, type your.
Type it in. Yeah, so
I don't put my guests on the spot here. Okay. Do you have any collaboration with UNC School of the Arts and their School of Film?
Well, interesting you would say that. I just spoke. I was on the panel here right before the pandemic with another group at the school, and so and some of the filmmakers there did submit, but that was my first time there. But I was on the panel here. I believe it was in February.
Okay. Wow. Interesting. Okay. This is incredible, Sean says. She said, this is just incredible. Oh, Nicole says, hey, he's an amazing genius. I love his gift. Continued blessings and strong. Hey,
Nikki. Now she says all this because she takes advantage of it too. Okay, so she wants she has all access, kind of. She's still, she's like family, so she picks my brain all the time.
I love Nikki. She's a sweetheart. I remember her from 10 years ago. Very hands-on, very uplifting, positive, exciting project.
She sung at the first Vision Awards as well. She's a great singer. Her gift. She needs somebody to manage her so she can allow her gift to move forward. And so, yeah.
Well, Nikki, you definitely, all this month, I'm featuring different musical guests. So if you're interested, inbox me and let me know. And I'd love to have you come on. I've already heard your gifts and your talents, and I'd be happy to have you come on the show and display them right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. And actually, speaking of which, any of you that are interested in sharing more information about Alzheimer's awareness, if you're a medical physician or you have access to a medical physician that would like to come on and talk more about Alzheimer's, I've already had Saina Davis come on and she did an incredible job, but know that I'm still looking for more information about that. Any health awareness for African-American men, if there's a medical physician or someone that wants to come on, please reach out to me, inbox me and let me know. And definitely Juneteenth, we will be celebrating Juneteenth next Friday here on the Kim Jacobs Show. So we'll be having the spoken word. We'll be having different types of things happening. So if you know that you would like to be a part of that celebration and your gifts and talents lend to that day, reach out to me right through inbox is fine or kim@thebalancedoctor.tv. Okay, Sean is connecting her daughter, Mariah Hall, who's in the films in Los Angeles, California. Then her daughter gets assigned, like Ayanna Vanzant, that she actually had her work on a project, different projects that she cast for. So she's a casting director in California.
Awesome.
And graduated from the School of Arts. And so she's also another gifted young lady, very gifted. Get your discount for VIP. That's Sean to be a cheerleader. She's like, go get it.
I need Sean as a board member for real. That's what you do. As a board member, you support the organization.
Yeah, once you get Sean on board, it's over. Okay. So we only have one day to watch the movies, not the entire weekend. She wants to.
Yeah, good question. Well, the movies are it's an 8-day festival, right? So there's movies every day. So when you look at that block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4, there's movies within that block. So that particular block of movies you can see that day only up to 11:59 p.m. Because then we get into a different agreement as far as VOD, video on demand, with our filmmakers, and we really don't want to get into that, but we did extend it to 11:59 p.m. That's why we have it like that, where you can continue to watch them if you miss one that day. But the movies be shown that day only.
Okay, so the movies will be shown that day only up until 11:59 p.m. And that's in an effort to get each of the movies a fair opportunity to be seen, correct?
Yeah, and they have each one have a unique screening time. So they're premiering at unique times, right? At unique times. But yeah, even though they premiere, let's say if it's a 15-minute short film for 15 minutes and it's at 5 and it's done at 5:15, you can still watch that movie up until 11:59. You know what I'm saying? After the screening time. But all of them have a premiere screening time that we're encouraging every folks to make.
Good. Okay. It's really great to see how your background has prepared you for this moment. Look at God.
And Sean, this is interesting you said that, because I really don't get it as much into that, because I'm from Ohio. In Ohio, I was part of a group in Columbus, Ohio, of African-American business owners who lobbied the city. We did some other unique things, and we came together and we created $1.2 in business among ourselves, right? We did that, and it was documented from the city and the banking community. After that, the banks came after us like never before for loans. I got a loan the banker took me out to lunch. I was doing a technology deal. It was a $39 hardware deal I was flipping. He said, I want to give you money to do it. I said, well, put it on a napkin. I think I saw it in a movie somewhere. He rolled it down on the napkin. I said, okay. He said, well, come by Thursday. I went by Thursday. He wasn't at the bank, but the check was. I filled out my papers there.
Wow.
Never. Because they took us so serious because of what we did with each other. I worked with the chamber back in Dayton, Ohio. So economic development has been part of my life, my whole entire life. So when I saw the festival, when I began the festival, saw the need, it was kind of an easy transition for me because I've been in economic development in the past. And so, yeah, that my background did prepare me for this.
That's great. That's incredible backstory knowledge. Thank you, Kim. Yeah, anytime, Sean. Anything for you. Any music side of the event? Anything that's musically inclined?
Yes, Daryl, I still need you to send me.
Okay, let me go look and see if Daryl responded. Melba Moore.
Melba Moore. Okay.
Moore. Come on.
Yes. Okay, Daryl. Yes, we have. Our films, we do the best soundtrack, so we do the best score. I'm sorry, the best score for our films. But we have the other competition called My Beat Your Movie. My Beat Your Movie are music artists that submitted music that they felt that would be best into a movie. So these are music artists who submitted their songs. So it's called My Beat Your Movie. That we have that competition as well.
Wow, this is gonna be like serious. This is serious.
And Kim, I create stuff. I'm like a mad scientist, but mad creative scientist.
I know. I already know this.
And one of the things we're not doing this year is our fashion of film competition. If you ever seen we do a fashion of film that I created. It's where fashion designers come to this big meeting and they pull a movie out of a hat. Whatever that movie is, they design their collection around. We provide models that they select their models, and we have this major showcase. Last year we gave $1,500 in cash prizes to the designers. It's an amazing, amazing event. We did that last year as well. We're moving that to October to see if we can have a live event, in-person event. But the fashion of film is another piece that I created as part of our festival. All around film, but the unique aspects of film that we don't see.
Wow. Well, so this right here sums up the whole flash round for a second. She said, my Lord. Sean said, my Lord, look at this testimony. Y'all better learn from this man. Tommy taught me. Hashtag, everybody hashtag Tommy taught me. Let me hashtag that right now. Tommy taught me. Maybe that's a hashtag that'll go viral. Tommy taught me.
You say that because you mentioned about the arts as well. The Art and Science Council asked me to speak to the Board of Commissioners when they were going to their budget to make sure art was a priority in their budget. When you talk about art and you say this. And so as I'm going into my event notes and I create this little speech that I'm going to say, whatever those words were so impactful that the president of the Art Science Council grabbed me. Afterwards, he took the same video, he took the video and took it to his board meeting. And then when he came back to the Board of Commissioners to ask them for the budget line items they wanted, his exact words, "How can we ever forget this?" And he clicked, and there's my video playing before the County Board of Commissioners that they use. And so, so God's gift makes a way. And I remember Pastor saying these 4 things. And this is my, as a believer, we're supposed to infiltrate. Once we infiltrate a particular place, then we can regulate. Once we regulate, we recreate the environment. We talk about righteous deed. We recreate the environment. Once we recreate the environment, we legislate the environment. And when we legislate the environment, that means we can establish godly mantles in that particular environment because we've infiltrated, recreated it, and legislated that particular environment. So I think about that everything I do. How can I get in for righteous concerns to make sure that faith is there, goodwill is there everywhere I go, and that's the purpose. We're not there just to be there. We have purpose, and we have a kingdom purpose, and I try to use that as well.
Wow, you dropping so much knowledge, because actually everything that you're sharing right now is exactly what people need to hear about the Black Lives Matter movement. So you're talking about film from Charlotte Black Film Festival perspective, but just the wisdom and the knowledge goes back to the hashtag, as Sean said, Tommy taught me. Tommy taught me. Tommy taught me that in order for us to have Black Lives Matter, we need to infiltrate, regulate, recreate, then legislate. Those are right from Tommy Nichols' words. So hashtag Tommy taught me, everybody.
Yeah, and let me say, I got that from Stacy LeMay. Stacy LeMay, Pastor Stacy LeMay. He has that on the wall of his church, and that's where I saw that, and I credit him for that. And that's why I have always remembered that, because once we get into a place, we have an obligation to make sure equality exists there, and we do that by confronting injustice when we see it. We do that by pulling the next person up. I was the first African American in my technology department back in 1982 in Dayton, Ohio. I was called nigger. I was called boy. I was called everything. The lady, when I first moved there, she said, "Listen, I don't like you, and I'm sure you don't like me. So you just give me my report and don't say anything to me." But I saw her spirit. She had just this joyful spirit with everybody but me. And so one day I came to her desk. I said, "Hey, sis, here you go." She thought that was the funniest thing in the world. She said, "Hey, bro ham." That she called me bro ham, right? The funniest thing in the world. Listen, when I left that company 2.5 years later, because I was trained and I know I got paid better, this girl cried like a baby. We cried like a baby. So we get into a place and we don't have to emotionalize everything, take everything too personal. Understand we're there on purpose. It's on purpose. Purpose supersedes your emotion. Purpose supersedes self-righteousness. Purpose always look for the person that's coming up behind you. And so when I was the first there, and after I left, I trained the next guy, he trained the next. We was 5 deep African American until the company was bought.
Wow. This is some good stuff you're saying. I'm typing it, Tommy, so you're going to have to pay me later because I was your personal assistant on my own show.
And this happens in every aspect. I'm the board chair of the Charlotte Mecklenburg Public Access Corporation. So same thing, and it's sad because you look like the angry Black person because you're being disruptive because things been so wrong for so long.
And you're going to get silent. That's why I know you're in film, because you're actually dramatic, even though you're trying to be behind the scenes, because you officially make a point, and then and then you know when to be silent, like that long silent pause. You're like, because things have been wrong for so long.
So long. Right. So we looked at being disruptive and angry, but we're not. We just want things to be righteous. We want things to be right. That's it. And so I've just accepted that. I've accepted. I'm the first one in. God, thank you. If people can stand on my shoulders, thank you.
Wow. I can't let any of these points go untyped, because so many people will be going back and watching the replay, and I want to make sure that they get this, that we want things to just be right. Things have been wrong for so long,
Right.
and you want people, this is.
So we're not disruptive. It's disruptive. It is disruptive from their standpoint. From our standpoint, we just want things to be right. You know what I mean? That's, you know, other people look at it as being disruptive. I'm not being disruptive. I just want things to be right.
Wow.
I'm not angry. I'm not mad.
No, you clearly are not. You're not mad.
I just want things to be right.
You're full of wisdom, Mr. Tommy Nichols over there. So again, we're all hashtagging today. Tommy taught me. If you don't hashtag nothing else today, hashtag Tommy taught me. Thank you, Sean Hall, for creating that hashtag. Wow. Let's see. Okay. I need to do a couple of things because I don't want the show to end without making sure I recognize my sponsor. Well, this is, first of all, we're looking for college interns here at the Kim Jacobs Show, and I know you have relationships with CPCC and many other schools, Tommy. So we do have a few interns. Yay! Thank you, Cassandra, for making that happen. NC State representing with your interns. Okay, so I'm so excited about that. So I know that this list has been altered, but right now I'm just going to say we're looking for an editor, a graphic design artist, 2 social media content developers, 2 broadcast journalism, digital media reps. So if you are interested in any of these opportunities, email your resume and your interest to kim@thebalancedoctor.tv. And that is a way that you'll get considered. We need these interns as soon as possible. So, and there's lots of work to do here on the Kim Jacobs Show. And also let me let you know that at noon, we have a prayer request line. Pastor Jacobs prays for people that are impacted with COVID-19, and still the numbers are rising, everybody. So it's not like they're going down. This is insane what's happening around here. So people need prayer. People are in isolation in hospitals that don't even have COVID, and they still can't get to their loved ones being in there with them. People are passing away and having to have outside homegoing services. It's pretty intense around here. So 978-990-5000. And access code is 322083 and pound. Let me go back to a flash round because I know more people have chimed in, and I don't want to lose any of my audience members. Oh, he's letting it sink in when you get silent, Sean. You're on your job for a purpose. Yes. And then Sean said that Jorge Millares, and I like to say Millares, he actually, and I say that because that's the way I can, right. My tongue enough to do it right. But anyway, Jorge, he actually does the QueenCityUnity.org. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him.
I am. I met Jorge. Yeah. His board president is the vice president on our board with the TV station.
Oh, good. Okay, so Sean is saying you guys should really connect because you have very similar philosophies, and you're making major points as everything that's already been shared. Yes, yes, yes. Infiltrate, regulate, recreate, and legislate. All of these are just important things that people are taking away from today's show. I love you so much more, Lady Kim. Your show is a phenomenal platform and extremely informative. And yes, I continue to pick Tommy's brain. He is so creative. And Daryl Johnson says, I'm going to call you, bro. Be safe. So those are some of the comments that's come in. Cassandra said, thank you so much, Tommy. This has been a great show. We look forward to seeing more from CBFF. Speaking of which, thank you, Cassandra. Cassandra, booked you in here and everything. So now, what's to be expected coming up from CBFF?
Well, the festival happens, and it's so interesting. I thank God for the grant we got there, but we just got another grant for our after-school program and our summer camp. So now we're going virtual with our summer camp. So for forever, I've been using my gifts, my talent, my experience to teach young people. So our Power Up program will be starting in July, and this will be free. This will be free because of the grant. It's a cultural block grant by the Art and Science Council, which is a different grant. And we're giving kids laptops to use during the duration of the camp. So they're going to do animation. We're going to create some film projects. They're going to do some coding. and podcast. We do a lot of unique things in this 2 week. It's a 2 week camp on the west side of Charlotte. Then there's a 2 week camp to be on the east side of Charlotte. So super excited about that. That happens right after the festival. I'll take a week, take a break, and then come right back and start really marketing. That will start marketing here in a couple of days for the summer camp. So, and then we have a grant to go into the after school program as well. Super excited about that. And then we'll start our digital Saturdays that we have. So digital Saturdays is once a month, and this is citywide when we work at UNCC, and we teach the same kind of things to kids on the digital Saturday platform.
Wow. Okay, so I just typed everything that you just said. CBFF just received a grant for their Power Up program summer camp, 2 week camp on the east side of Charlotte and on the west side of Charlotte. It's totally free.
It's going to be totally free.
Oh my gosh.
Grant pays for that. We have some outstanding instructors that are coming in to teach different elements of that. So it's really fun because kids, I mean, everything that's happening, I really think about our kids. I think about our young people. Everything that we're seeing, we've been through some things as adults, but how are young people responding to this? And sometimes they're quiet. You don't hear it. And so we really want to come into that. We're going to talk about it as well. We might even create a short film about it as a release for them. So we'll see once the kids come together what direction we're going to go. But we're super excited that we're able to get our young people engaged with them. And we've been doing that now. This is our 4th year in Charlotte doing this.
Well, a question Sean had is, will camp be virtual with all that's going on? Or?
It will be virtual. We're trying to, the sign-up day is in person because you need to pick up the laptop for your student. So that's in person. We can do orientation of how it works. The laptop will have all of the tools, the apps, everything each student would need. But we'll have that one day. And we're trying to find a park because I do want to get out like once a week. If we can find a park and practice social distance, we can do that there. I want to get out at least one day a week. And we might do that when the kids shoot their film. So when I get with the parents, we're going to determine what direction we're going to go with that. But it's a virtual camp, but we need to get out at least one day.
Wow. And do they have to have a specific background or just an interest in film or what?
Interest in film, technology, animation, gaming, all of that, those things like that, which is good. Coding. And some kids don't even know enough about coding to have interest. And the interest when we show them and in the class, then they see that website pop up. They're super excited. Oh wow.
My God.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about this because like 2 of my children, one is an actor. It's Jeremiah. He's my 15-year-old and he's heavily interested in acting. And then I have my 12-year-old, and right now she illustrates everything in her sketchbook. So she draws all of her characters.
Really?
And I showed it on one of my shows earlier this week. And it's just her own imagination because she's writing a book right now and she has all of her characters drawn out.
Wow.
And I saw she was able to do something through an app, which I don't know how this girl did this, but she did something where she created almost like these little Minecraft looking Lego figures. And she have a short story.
Stop motion. She might probably do stop motion, which we're going to talk about that in there. And also we're doing YouTube producer class too. So everyone talks about YouTube. So we're going to do a class about being a YouTube producer for the young people as well.
Do you can I sign my 2 children? Don't fill up and then don't let my 2 kids get in there.
Right, because we got a limit on that. So that will probably be released Monday. So that will be released Monday.
Well, that's nice, but you're on the Kim Jacobs show, so I'm telling you in advance that Kim Jacobs and Jeremiah Jacobs and Jayla Jacobs as a part of the summer camp.
Right,
so
I know that's right.
I'll do my forms, and I know you can't show favoritism.
Right. Yeah, and so when we do the flyer's done. It's just got to be approved by the Art and Science Council, and then we have the registration form, which is online on the page. And then you just go to the registration, fill out the information, and it goes like that. We'll see, because some people don't respond. I mean, so it'd be interesting to see. But I'm sure the young people have been inside. What have they been doing? I'm sure it's been horrible for them. They have to create.
Yes, but I will fill out my form on Monday morning. So no problem. I'm all about following the rules.
Gotcha,
but I just want you to know right now that they're coming in. Okay, let's see some. Okay, what group? Cassandra said, what is the age group for the camp?
Yeah, the age group is 10. We got 2 separate groups. Actually, we work. One is 10 to 12 and 13 to 17. So we got 2 groups that we're we don't, even though they've been in the same room, we kind of have working projects separately based on the age groups.
10 to 12 and 13 to 17. Okay. Yeah, because they're into totally different things. Are you going to be doing anything with this whole Fortnite world and stuff. They just get on my nerves.
We did that before. Actually, we did a Fortnite video. The kids actually jumped into Fortnite in our camp. So we played it back. The kids were in Fortnite in the game on the green screen. They were actually in the game playing Fortnite. So we showed it. We have an award. We have an awards program, not an awards program, but we have a presentation at the end of the camp where the kids show their videos and everything that we've done in the camp. And we did it at downtown, the Studio Movie Grill. So we was in the theater when we did that. And so they saw the movies. And one kid had to leave to go on vacation, and he missed that part of the camp. He screamed out loud, said, "Mom, see, you made me go on vacation and I missed this." It was so funny. But the kids actually jumped into, we had the Fortnite music, we had everything. It was off the chain. It was good.
Well, my mom said, "I will be talking to my grandson, Jeremiah, about you and your purpose."
Hey, Miss Ella, I know you.
Everybody know my mom. She's so funny. She come in town for a few minutes and she's everybody's best friend.
Absolutely.
God is working through you. This is ministry that you're doing.
And you know, it's interesting because, oh my God, why y'all have me pulling this stuff out? This is how you know it's ministry. When seeds are sown before the payoff. This is my first year getting a grant. 4 years, first year getting a grant. Seeds were sown way before the payoff. I remember taking the bus. We was at Johnson C. Smith University. My car was in the shop in Uptown. I jumped on the bus from Johnson C. Smith to go get my car at the shop Uptown. There was an older lady with 3 kids on this bus sitting across from me. I said, "What are your kids doing for this summer?" She said, "Nothing." They live right across from Johnson C. Smith in those apartments. I said, "How would you like to have them in my camp?" I gave her my card. Those kids have been in my camp every year, have not paid anything. So once again, that's how you know it's ministry, when seeds are sown before the payoff.
Wow. Sean also asked, is Monday going to be the registration for both locations?
Yes, because we have to, we're going to do it for both locations. But even though one will start earlier, we're still doing registration for both locations. So you choose either one or the other on the website.
Okay. My mom said, "Oh, me, oh my, Jayla too." She's like, "Oh Lord, this is so much happening." Yeah, I know that Sean is saying, "Oh no," to something specific, and I'll tell you, I already see your comment, Sean, but I'll talk to him about that offline because I know what your "oh no" stands for, because we're best. So I know exactly what. Okay, but she already typed it on here, so I'll go ahead and tell you. She has an 8-year-old daughter who is well beyond her years. I was going to say it privately. Her 8-year-old daughter is probably smarter than all my kids put together. My kids be like, "Mom, don't say that." Zoe is not smarter than all of us put together. They'll be offended if I say that. But this girl is like brilliant, masterful. So,
and we've had that before. Last year, we had an 8-year-old. I'll never forget this. When we were at the and he came in because his older brother or sister came in, so that made it, and we normally went 9 and up, but I think 10 is a good age right now, to keep it, because being online that long, and then we do break it up, so they're not online the whole time.
But go ahead and answer the next question.
we used to, but I moved it up to 10 this year, because if we were in person, we would normally start at 9. And then we would sneak, if 8-year-olds was at that place and they had a brother and sister, we would let them come as well. But since we're online, we're doing 10 and up.
Okay, well, because Cassandra has Lady Skylar, and she wants to be a chemical engineer. So if you have a conversation with her, she already can tell you everything about engineering. And so you have these children that are beyond.
Listen, my best students, I have pictures of these 8-year-olds, right, because they want the most attention. They're lovey-dovey. They're the ones next to me. Always got to touch me as we're talking. That's the 8 and 9-year-olds. They're always got to be that way. So I have pictures with them, just because they want that attention as well, right? So I would say this: if your kids are under 10, Lord, this is funny. All kids matter. Y'all are funny.
You ready to start a whole kids matter movement? You shouldn't have said that.
If your child is under 10 and you want to be part of the camp, fill out the application and pray. That's what I tell you. Fill out the application and pray. We'll see what happens.
Okay. And then Sean said, provide, Lord. I know exactly how she's saying it. If I put her on the phone, she would be like,
Yeah.
she'd be in a high-pitched voice, come on, Lord, come through. Provide.
We see, just sign up anyway. Just sign up anyway. The flyer says that. But if you're an 8, 9-year-old, sign up anyway. Let's see what happens.
Okay, so there you have it, guys. Y'all being on the Kim Jacobs show, you're getting a chance
Right.
to move Mr. Tommy Nichols, especially since you started the hashtag.
Right.
Tommy taught me.
Right. Well,
Way before God promises always manifest.
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I think I've done a good job of representing my studio audience. I didn't want to leave out any comments, but please, if you would, Tommy, make sure you go back and later just review the comments and answer any questions or concerns people may have, or just address their shout outs, because I don't like to leave any of my studio audience members out. I think I addressed everything though. Okay. Any words of encouragement for those that are young that you would say, hey, this is what I recommend you do so that you can get into film and arts? Any last kind of words?
First of all, let me shout out to all of my family, my friends, people in Ohio. That's where I'm from. If you're watching this, hello to everybody that's there. I would say this for young people. This is the key, because I look at my daughter, for instance. My daughter, she tells me she told me I forced her to be in my play, because I've written plays before. She told me I forced her to be in my play at the church, and now and then she went to high school. She's one of the leads in the high school play. My daughter can build a computer. So when she was in school, the librarian would always come to her to help with the computers. So I'm saying this to parents: expose your child, don't force your child. Expose your child to technology, the arts, coding. Everything is out here, because right now technology is going to be the thing that's going to drive us forward. It's going to be technology. So expose them to everything and see what they really gravitate to, what's good for them in that space. That's what I would say. I'm more for the parents than the young people. Just expose them to as many things as you can, so they're very well-rounded. And art is one of those things that never, ever, it's that comforter in the midst of so many things that's happening.
Wow, that's some good advice. We have about 3 more minutes left on today's episode. I'm going to make sure I share with you my sponsor, and then I see a few more comments. I'm going to try and get those in before we end today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. Today's episode is sponsored in part by Alina Green, who is the Mind and Body Transformer. She's offering a challenge that kicks off on July 6th, and I want you to hear her video. If you're interested in ever sponsoring an episode of the Kim Jacobs Show or a full week, you can go to kim@thebalancedoctor.tv and send your 30-second video, and it will run for either that one episode or the entire week. Let me go ahead and share her video clip with you. Hey, while I'm right here, make sure you know that I'm looking for you to subscribe to the Kim Jacobs Show and turn on your notifications. This is where you'll do that. It's real relevant and relatable information, ranging from cradle to grave and even beyond. Let me go ahead and play Alina Green's video.
Hi, Coach Elena Green here with Elena Green Fitness, where I help women reconnect with themselves through active living, mind and body transformation. I want to personally invite you to our virtual Fit Body Expo 8-week program starting on July the 6th. Guys, if you have a goal to whip your body into shape, this program is for you. For more details, email elenagreenfitness@gmail.com or just simply look me up on Instagram and Facebook. I hope to see you there.
Whoop. Okay, there you have it. Alina Green Fitness sponsored this episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. And I want to go to a final, oh my God. Well, y'all should not wait to the end of the show and start putting all of these comments. This is crazy. I'm only one person. Let's see here. We need a grant for kids who are younger. Provide, Lord. Okay. Joseph Purington says, I have 2 daughters, 8 and 7, and I can't find anything for them. So I'm creating that space for me. Can't wait for someone to decide when to open the door. I'm building my own door to open. That's awesome, Joseph. Wendy Washington, my cousin, said, VIP discount for this year's festival is awesome. I have been wanting to attend since we had a family member to have film featured years ago in the film festival in New York. So she can't wait to attend. All right. Joseph Parrington, that is amazing. Sean Hall giving another studio. She's high-fiving you. She must be sitting next to you, Joe. That's like as if you're all sitting in the studio audience. Train up these kids. It works. Yes. Okay. You plenty, Tommy. And again, if we don't end on anything else today, we're going to end on hashtagging what? I should see some typing going on. What's the hashtag for today? Tommy taught me. Thank you, Sean, for that hashtag. Tommy taught me. Any last words of wisdom from you, Gandhi?
Just the last thing I would say this: in the midst of everything, as a believer, everyone's feeling a certain way. We're very, very emotional, but we're commanded to love. I'm gonna leave you with that. We're commanded to love everybody, and so in the midst of everything, don't let your emotions get caught up into the reactions of things. Because if you're a Christian, our kingdom response should always be love.
Wow, I can't just end on that because I have to type what you said. So that's Christian. So say something else. Our kingdom.
Just that, because a lot is happening right now, and everything's being emotional. We need to have a clear-cut agenda for the community if that's what we're going to do. But we can't say that all cops are bad, all white people are bad, and so we have to express love at the same time. All this chaos is happening. That's if you're a Christian. Now, if you're not, you can do what you want to do. But as believers, and I am one, I have a kingdom mandate over my life, and that is to be a bridger and not a divider.
Yes. Well, you've done an excellent job of just bridging arts and community right here in the Charlotte, North Carolina area, and I can't wait for your project to go global, because what you're doing and the training that you're providing is something that every city nationwide needs to implement locally in their own respective areas. So thank you for being my guest today, Tommy Nichols.
Thank you, Kim. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, everyone, for watching today's episode. Tune in